She had, as many trans young people do, a fear of going into puberty.
Puberty tends to resolve the issues. We know that, we've known that for decades, that if you just support kids who think this when they're very little, puberty works it out for them.
Isabel was very clear about what she wanted to do, and what she needed was puberty blockers. So we went through the risks and we went through the benefits. Puberty blockers are reversible. The only risk is that it can affect your bone density.
It's like going directly into menopause in one day. They just cut off a particular whole set of hormonal interactions in the brain and body. We know that that's going to be bad for you, because it's interrupting an extremely important developmental sprint. It can't be good for you to do that. The question is, how long-term bad is it for you? And the emerging evidence is it is quite long-term bad for you. Your brain and your bones won't recover, really.
The good thing about this drug is it gives you time to think about what you want to do in the long term.
So that's clear. It's also clear that if you progress from taking puberty blockers early in puberty to take cross-sex hormones, you'll be sterile.
We've had 5 young people out of more than 1,000 over the 15 years who have stopped taking estrogen or testosterone.
About 98% of people who go on puberty blockers go on to cross-sex hormones. You probably won't be able to have an orgasm, and you may never discover what your sexuality is because you won't ever have gone through your natural puberty that tells you who you are as an adult. So all of those things are known.
So the newspaper is inferring that clinicians like me are harming children, that it's experimental, that the care is novel.
Pseudoscientific surgical and hormonal experiments on children, adolescents, and vulnerable adults. We're looking at a case of very serious medical mistreatment where children and vulnerable adults are being given drugs and being given surgeries without them understanding the implications of those drugs and surgeries. And what's more, the files themselves, and I think if there's one thing you want to take away from this, what it shows is that the professionals involved in so-called gender medicine recognize that both the children and the parents, as well as the people with mental illness that they're so-called treating, they know that they don't understand what they're getting into. What we're dealing with here is, in my view, one of the worst medical mistreatment scandals in human history, and maybe the worst.